Hello, it is Cindy Walter, the healthy knitter, and hopefully your knitting bestie with episode, where are we at now? Number 42. And I'm titling this episode Knit Smarter, Not Harder, with some productivity tips for knitters. So I've got a few really exciting things to share with you guys today. So let's get started. First, I wanted to share a quote with you that I kind of live by as someone in the health and wellness industry. If you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? And that is why I'm just so passionate about health and wellness and helping people to be their best health. And when I was researching for this episode, I actually found a news story from years and years ago that was on CBS, and it was about how knitting is good for your health. So I'm going to link it below because I keep talking about it and I've had people asking me about it. Are you sure knitting is good for your health? And absolutely, any hobby that you can find that can lower your stress is good for your health. And it can be something that's physical and active like gardening or exercising, which I love both of those. But if it's more of a sedentary hobby like knitting or crocheting or sewing or something like that, it's also still good for you because it does help lower your stress. So we just want to make sure if our hobbies are sedentary, we're getting our activity and getting our fitness in. And I did a little short story reel showing my morning routine and how I bring my knitting into my working out. So stay tuned and I'll share that with you as well. But what I want to talk about today is how can I find time to knit when life is so busy? So that's one of the questions I get a lot. And a few of the suggestions I will give you is one, incorporating it into what you're already doing. If I am sitting on my exercise bicycle in the morning for 30, 45 minutes, I usually do an hour on my exercise bike. Why not bring my knitting and do two things at once? I'm not biking so hard and so fast that I can't bring my knitting. If I'm doing a hill, I do more hills, so I'm a little slower and my resistance is a little stronger so that I can knit. If I was doing sprint work, I'd have to put the knitting down for a little bit. But I like to habit stack. So if I'm already allowing that time to be on my bicycle down in the basement, why not bring my knitting along with me and kill two birds with one stone? Anytime my husband is driving us anywhere, I have knitting in my bag. If he's driving, I'm knitting. If I'm driving, I obviously can't, but when I'm with him, luckily he likes to drive and I like to knit, so it works out pretty great. Anytime I am waiting anywhere, I never leave home without a bag with me. I've always got some kind of a bag, and that's why I do always like socks on the needles, because having something small and easy, you can bring it to doctor's offices, anywhere you go where you have meetings, you're waiting in line, maybe with kids, anything that you're doing where you're waiting, have your knitting with you. And I love the bags that have the little handles, because if you're somewhere in line, maybe where you're standing, you could be knitting as well. So you can fit it in. If you're someone that likes to sit and watch TV in the evenings with your family, knit while you're watching TV. Find easy patterns where you don't have to sit and count and concentrate. Do some easy just stocking knitting in the round projects, maybe a sweater, something that you're able to do while you're still present with your family. And I just love doing that. And I love feeling productive, keeping my hands busy, but still being able to be there and be present with people because I'm not having to focus and count. Because when I have to focus and count, I can't be doing that in front of other people. Another question I get a lot are, what are some of the best small knitting projects for when I'm short on time? I love quick things, hats, scarves. Socks are not quick. I love to have them, but the crazy sock lady can whip them out. It's just amazing to me. I really would love to see exactly how fast she knits. But it usually takes me, even if that's the only thing I'm doing, it usually takes me a week to 2 weeks to complete a pair of socks, where I can do one of my little smaller crochet bags or a scarf or a hat in just a few days. So anything like that, a scarf, a hat, one of the ear bands, There's so many of those like Sophie scarves, those cute like neckties that you could make in a relatively short period of time. So lots of little small projects like that. And you could certainly search in Ravelry for great patterns for that. Another question I get is, how can I use knitting to stay off my phone and be more present? And how funny, as soon as I was preparing for this, then I found Knitting Natty had given up her phone to see how much time and how much more productive she would be with her knitting, and it was unbelievable. She didn't get on her phone for Instagram and all that, and she just was a lot more present and focused for her knitting and a lot less distracted. So that was kind of cool to see. So what I'd love to say to that is, when I have a goal, I just put my phone aside. Now I will, if I'm not having to follow a pattern, I will listen to a book on Audible or watch podcasts. I've been doing a YouTube university training so I can get better at these videos for you and my YouTube channel, how I can, be better with my whole YouTube experience for my viewers. And so I'll be knitting at my desk watching YouTube videos. So I'm able to kind of do both things there, but my phone's kind of tucked away, so I'm not getting distracted by the constant dings. Another thing that you could do is just turn your phone on Do Not Disturb, so that you're able to focus. Because if you're like me, if I had my phone dinging, I would never get anything done. I am so distracted by the constant dings of notifications that even my husband's dings drive me bananas. I'll always be like, Scott, if I'm needing to focus on something, I'll actually ask him if he wouldn't mind turning off his notifications, because the dinging and distractions drive me nuts. You may not be like me, but I am so easily distracted. So when I am in focus mode, phone goes down, Do Not Disturb goes on, and I will really, really spend time focusing. So that helps me. And then, can knitting help with focus and concentration? Absolutely. Sometimes I will be focusing on a pattern and I have to count, and I'll have, I have a kind of a binder that has a magnetic strip that tracks where I am in my pattern, and I'm just going row by row by row and following and really being focused in on the pattern. And there are studies that show that it can help you with focus and concentration in all areas of your life, not just with knitting. So having something like knitting, crocheting, another hobby like that can really help you with focus and mental clarity in all areas of your life, which is such a blessing. And then the last question I get a lot is, what's the best way to set knitting goals and finish projects faster? I tell you, this is accountability for me right here. I like to have progress. When I get on and do my next podcast, I want to make sure I've had progress since my last one. So if this is up your alley, you could certainly do a podcast. Having knitting friends, having a knitting circle, a knitting community where you're getting together, same thing. It's a little bit of accountability. You want to show up for your get together with some progress. I would say, put a progress marker on your project when you're completing for the night, and then you can see the next day or in a week how much progress you've made on your projects. And just tell people, put it out there, maybe put it on social media, do a picture of it. I put it in my stories, and I'll have people saying, oh my gosh, you're making so much progress on that. So put it out there and then watch to see how you're able to finish things quicker, because you don't want to have a project in your bag for a year and have no progress on it when people are kind of watching and waiting to see your results. So just put it out there, and you might be pleasantly surprised at how productive you can be. All right. So that was my little share for today. I'm going to share my one finished project with you now. I finally finished my vanilla socks in West Yorkshire Spinner's signature 4-ply self-striping or patterning colorway owl. So this is the pattern. I just love how the striping showed up just so beautifully, and I didn't have to do it myself and tie in all the ends, but they're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous, and they fit perfectly. So I'm thrilled with these. These will be mine. I am sticking to my one pair a month, so I'm going to be doing some to give away, but I did cast on a new pair, and this is DK weight vanilla socks. So this is the Crazy Sock Ladies pattern in her DK. She does both DK and fingering. So I did cast that on, and I am using Fibra Natura Cobblestone in this. It's 100% merino wool, and it's in the color Mai Tai. How cute is that? So I'll show you what they look like. I've got both cuffs casted on, but it's just such a beautiful colorway. I absolutely love it. So there you go. I've got both of those casted on. And then I think I've decided what I'm doing for my other socks. I had my special pin drop shop, custom yarn for the pin drop shop. I posted the link in my last video, but I'll post it again for you guys today. I got it all caked up today. So that's ready to go, and it's very, very springy. So I'm really excited to get going on that. And I think what I'm going to do is from the Sock Project, a book from Summer Lee, my first knitting book. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to do the Harriet socks. It's kind of a speckled yarn with a, you can see the cable patterning of it. So this is going to be something new and different for me. I've not done a pair of socks with not complicated, but I've done basically vanilla socks since I've been making socks. So I'm very excited about this one, and I'm going to cast it on. I toyed with the idea of doing a different color toe and heel, but I don't think I will. That pattern does not call for it, so I think I'll follow pattern, and I will get going on that. So I am very excited about that. And my Bluebell, oh, I forgot to pull that out to show you. I did make quite a bit of progress with it. Then I kind of wanted to finish those socks, so I put it aside. I haven't touched it for at least a day, but it's coming along very nicely. It's just very light and airy. You can see the raglan design going down the sleeves. It looks teeny tiny, but it's going to stretch out and open up really nice. Ooh, we are darkening up here and getting a storm. I'm going to have to get off and close windows so the rain doesn't come in. So let me just make sure I've gotten everything shared with you guys. My next knit along, for those of you that want to join in, is Sunday, this coming up Sunday, May 4th from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll link the Zoom link below, along with all of the ways you can connect with me on all of my different platforms, my website, and my Amazon store for some of my favorite products that I use and recommend for you. If I can help you in any way, please let me know. When it comes to your health, that's certainly a priority for me. We do have a fabulous Mother's Day promotion going on right now. So if your health is something you've been considering doing and you want to have a free consultation, just message me, let me know, and I'd be happy to do that for you. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. In other news, that is it for today. It's storming and getting so dark outside. We are expecting torrential rains and winds, so I'm going to call it a day for now. I will see you next time. Make it a great knitting day, and I can't wait to hear about your projects. Make sure you communicate with me in the comments below. Have a great day.